Well, welcome everyone to this Eyes to the Sky video. I'm meteorologist Chris Lasakis, and today we're going to be talking about some of my personal top favorite weather education resources. Whether you're trying to just learn weather and how to forecast and generally meteorology for the first time, or if you'd like to learn a little bit more if you're advanced and you've already been through weather school and you're a degreed meteorologist, etc. All of these different URLs, different websites should help you in your quest for becoming a better meteorologist. So we'll jump right on into it now. One of the things that I like to do first off is to explain to students that, and I'm continuously reminding myself of this as well, learning about science specifically, and really anything in life, but the sciences really have a very strong correlation to this point. It's incremental. Anytime you want to learn a different field or get more advanced into the field you know a lot about, you always have to start with a different base level of knowledge. So even if you've already graduated with your degree in meteorology, you have to go back and you have to start reading papers and you have to start reading websites and being around people that know a lot about the weather and just exposing yourself more and more to the material that you want to learn more about. And a great place, especially if you're just starting off with weather, we'll go ahead and dive into some of the websites now that I would highly recommend. I believe I've got 10 of them pulled up here, or maybe it's 11. Anyway, this Jetstream Weather School by the National Weather Service. You can see the address up here at the top. It's an excellent resource. You have all things about the basics involving the atmosphere, the ocean, global circulation and climate, clouds, and you can see all the different headers over here on the right. I'll just click on a couple random ones here and let you see. They go into first off the basics, and then as you advance through the different slides, they have more in-depth explanations, the types of clouds and the cirriform, cumuliform, all the way down here, and I'm sure they talk about the 10 different cloud types and different regions across the globe and what kind of clouds they have. So that's a really good, wonderful resource here. Couple other things that, see the basic 10, core 4, and then the basic 10. That's very, very well laid out here. I definitely like that. It's amazing. You go to some meteorologists and you ask them what are the 10 different cloud types, and they just kind of look at you like, I never learned it that way. And you know, they even struggle to recite the 10 different types, which is one of the fundamental things we all need to know, because clouds give us, signs of what's going on in the atmosphere. It's like our living laboratory. It's like outside. You step out there and you look up in the sky, and the clouds can offer you clues as to what's going on in the atmosphere, stability wise and many other things. So yeah, it's important to know. But that's just one of the elements, the clouds there. You'll learn a lot about with this Jetstream Weather School. Really cool. You'll learn about the severe weather, different types of severe storms, even a little bit how to forecast them. So yeah, that's Jetstream Weather School. We'll click on, see, they should have, I bet you that severe storms, they probably have tornadoes under thunderstorms. Yeah, you can see tornadoes here, and a little bit about wind shear, directional speed shear, and vorticity, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's Jetstream Weather School. That's a good one to go to. The second one that I'd like to recommend are some books by a meteorologist by the name of Tim Vasquez. Respect Tim's work very much. He's got a video series also on YouTube that you might check out that's really good. But his books are excellent. I've read his books. Can't go wrong. Absolutely wonderful material. He's got a whole series of books over here, as you can see on the left. Let me refresh this and see if I can get the names of his books to come up a little bit clearer for you. Anyway, he's got the Forecaster's Reference Workbook, Weather Analysis and Forecasting. All these books are around $30, but it is absolutely well worth it to invest in these books. A Weather Map Handbook, severe storm forecasting, and you can see the rest of them. Even got one on radar. These books will give you, again, a solid foundation on weather analysis and forecasting, severe weather history even a little bit too, tornado chasing, all that he covers. So Tim Vasquez books, definitely highly recommended. You'll find his stuff at weathergraphics.com, and then you can just navigate to the book section from there. Next up, I have a website by meteorologist, let's see, let me remember before I say it wrong. Let me try to, Jeff Habe. And his stuff is excellent. He's got, as you can see here, the website, theweatherprediction.com up here, and you can't go wrong with his stuff either. He's got one thing that I'm particularly interested in. If you'll click right here where it says new book, if you'll click right there on the front page, he's got 1,001 different weather hints. He calls them Habe hints on his website here. And if you go through all of these, you will be, and you know a lot about, each one, you will be well versed in atmospheric science. There is no doubt about it, because he covers so much in these 1,001 different. And if you click on them, they're not that long. A couple paragraphs, and it might take you, to really have a dense understanding of the material. It might take you, 10, 15 minutes to go through each one of these or less, maybe 5 if you're a fast learner. But yeah, so he's got a lot of good material here. Some of them are a little longer, but nothing that would take you longer than 15, 20 minutes to go through. So there's that. And he's also got other stuff on his website at theweatherprediction.com. He's got some tests, sample tests for meteorologists on TV. All kinds of cool experiments and stuff. You can check that out. Stuff you can do with heat transfer, evaporation rate, and clouds, and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff. So next up would be the American Meteorological Society. I strongly recommend going there and learning more about the AMS. Let me go to the front page here for you. Okay, here we go. And so if you're a student, you can become a student member of the AMS. That'll give you certain benefits. If you're a professional, you can get discounts and stuff like that too. But one of the coolest things about the AMS website, one of the things I like, is their publications. You click here and scroll down. Find some really, really good information on their publications. They have a ton of cool books. If you like reading, you can go to their bookstore here. And lots of good books on synoptic forecasting, climate, you name it. How to write journal papers, all that kind of stuff. I'm a personal fan of Gary Lackman's work. Mid-latitude synoptic meteorology. This is really good stuff here. He's got a good textbook on that. But anyway, that's one of the things you can do on the AMS website. Another one is you can come down here and look at the journals and monographs. Here's the Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society, called BAMS. But I like to go here and read and search for different journal articles about meteorological stuff. You can browse by the different weather and forecasting. That's one I like to look at here. And you can search by year even, I believe, or volume. And it's really got a lot of cool stuff. One of the things, let me show you exactly how I like to search. Trying to remember, I think you go to advanced search here, and you type in, you can type in the title or the author, if you know the author of the paper, and then the journal you're looking for. One of the other cool ways that I do search for journal articles is just go to Google, or you can even go to Google Scholar specifically and type in, tornado forecasting, and then American Meteorological Society. Put that after in the search in the query bar, and that'll pull up some journals that way. But yeah, this is a really cool website. If you're into meteorology and want to learn more about it, certainly scour this site high and low. There's even the glossary of meteorology here. This is really cool. You can go here and look up different terms. Like, let's just say we want to look up tornado. You can come here and it'll give you an explanation. So you can even do an advancement, say an advanced topic. Say isentropic lift or ascent. Let's do ascent. There you go. And I believe that'll, or either that or you can probably just go like that. Yeah, and it tells you the definition. So that's a cool website. So there's the AMS. It's a really good place to go. The next one is the Meteorological Education by Comet, METED. This is really a wonderful resource. On METED, you have to sign in order to use any of their resources. And you have to create an account in order to do that. So just sign up. It takes you all of like 3 or 4 minutes with a valid email account. And then you just sign in. And then what you can do is you can go to Education and Training once you're signed in. And you can take these mini classes. And you actually get a grade because there's an exam at the end. Of course, it doesn't count for, formal academia in a university setting, but some professors do use these to supplement teaching in the classroom in a conventional classroom setting. But you can see how many of these there are, and so all you have to, and there's pages and pages of these. So there's literally hundreds and hundreds of modules you can take, and it keeps you, if you go to My METED, once you're signed in, it'll tell you which modules you've taken, your grade, and it'll keep those for eternity in there. So this is a great resource, very, very underutilized. This is one of my favorite websites, period, to learn more about weather. Constantly putting new modules up, you can learn more about it. This starts the forum section of our discussion here today. I want to give you a couple forums. These are really great resources as well. This is the American Weather Forum. You can see the website here. I didn't give you the METED website address either. I think it's just meted.ucar.edu. So if you just type that in, that'll get you to the front page. Okay, so now onto the forums. This is my favorite, American Weather. And they're always going on here 24/7. You can learn a lot. For instance, right now we have Hurricane Maria out approaching the Leeward Islands in the western Atlantic Ocean. So we'll go to tropical headquarters, and you can see Major Hurricane Maria. By the way, Maria right now is up to a Category 3 storm. We'll look at that just a minute, in just a second. But yeah, so an incredible storm. But if you scroll down here, I mean, there's people that post. It's highly, highly educational. They're saying on here that the eye wall, this was posted an hour ago, is looking amazing on radar. It's a rapidly strengthening storm is what they're saying here. And you can go down and see what everyone's saying here. This one fellow here says the core is bombing out today. It's a rapidly strengthening storm, unfortunately, for the Caribbean islands and the leewards. So yeah, that's American Weather, and they've got all kinds of stuff for severe storms. Even if you go back here, you can see that. I'll take you back one more time. You can see that. So yeah, I mean, you can pick from any of these different chat areas right here to go check out. And that's forum number 1. The second forum I like to visit is talkweather.com. This one has been around a long time too, and you have a lot of different folks on here that know a lot about the weather. So just general weather discussion, I'll just demo it for you a little bit. You have to be a member here too to post, as do you on American Weather, but it's very easy. Both forums are moderated, so don't think you can go crazy with stuff. If you're gonna, it has to be educational type. Serious questions most of the time. They really try to keep things, tight and professional in there, which is great. I think that really helps with the learning process. So they're highly monitored by bulletin board moderators. So another one of the cool things that you can do here is scroll down. I think they have an archive, or they used to at least. I'm trying to remember how to get that. Actually, they had a crash, a website crash back about a year ago when Hurricane Matthew was going up the east coast of the U.S., so they might have lost the archive. But yeah, just go in there and poke around. It's really cool. Another great forum. These two forums, if you use them, you will learn so quickly about the weather. Great stuff. So the National Weather Service, now moving into some of the more technical, see here, what's the term I'm looking for? Just National Weather Service, Climate Prediction Center type, Storm Prediction Center stuff. The term I'm looking for is escaping me, forgive me. But anyhow, so go to weather.gov. And one of the things I like to do, I'd like to talk about something specific here, is I like to read the area forecast discussions. Department of Commerce, that's the term I'm thinking about. All the different Department of Commerce stuff, NOAA, under NOAA. National Weather Service, Storm Prediction Center, Hurricane Center, Weather Prediction Center, etc. And so click there and then click right here on your area, wherever that is. And then you can scroll down and see right here where it says Forecast Discussion. This is an excellent, excellent resource. The forecasters write up a technical memorandum or a technical discussion about what they think is going to happen and why. And this gives you an excellent resource to go through and learn more about it. And as a matter of fact, while we're at this, I'm going to pull something up for you right now where you can look at archived old forecast discussions and warnings and stuff. So I'm going to do AFD archive. Just type in AFD archive into the search query and this top result. And this is really cool. This is put out by Iowa State University. And then you can search by your weather office, know which weather forecast office from the Weather Service issues for your area. For instance, mine is Huntsville here in northern Alabama, so I'll put Huntsville. Say I want to look at the forecast discussion that was issued sometime just after midnight. Typically they do one around midnight. So I'll look for one that was done around midnight last night, which would be 5Z on the 18th today. We'll see if we can find anything on that. Yeah, so they issued one at 12:36 p.m. local time, local time last night. And you can see here, issued by the National Weather Service in Huntsville. And they discuss all the cool stuff going on that they see using satellites, radar, the models, and their personal experience. Of course, National Weather Service forecasters have vast experience forecasting through a myriad of different conditions all across the country. So learning from their expertise is a wonderful way to increase your own ability, whether it be for the weather challenge, if you're going into meteorology and you want to be a forecaster, or for teaching purposes, whatever. These guys can help you out. They're really good. So yeah, that forecasting archive's really cool. Again, just go to Google and type in AFD archive and the top result will get you there. Okay, so that's a cool one. Going now. So we just covered the National Weather Service. Okay, the Storm Prediction Center now. This is spc.noaa.gov is the address. Another one of the Department of Commerce is the National Weather Service, one of NOAA's branches. So you click on Convective Outlooks, and you've heard about slight, moderate, and high risks. Well, now, of course, we have enhanced and marginal risks, too, that are thrown in the middle between categories. But you just click on one of the forecasts. For instance, there's an enhanced risk, slight and enhanced risk tomorrow across the northern plains. Parts of southeastern North Dakota and northeastern South Dakota be affected by that. And you can read the experts' discussion right down here. This particular forecast was issued by Broyles from the Storm Prediction Center. Really good discussions always. So that'll set you up there, and you can find archived versions of these as well at the Iowa State Archive, AFD Archives. So just go about searching for these in the same way. And there's another site actually that I would like to give you, which is really cool for searching for Storm Prediction Center stuff. We can go SPC events on Google. So type that in into the search bar and the top result there as well. And search the year, month, and date. And you can even get specific if you want into your state. Say we want to research April 27, 2011. Just go there, come on down here, and there. And even if you don't know the specific date, you can find it. And here's how you would do that. Just click on the year. So say you don't know what day, but it was in 2011. And you'll give you a whole list of dates. Or it should. Let me see. Yes, sure does. And so you can see what you can do here, and you can just find your date. For instance, we're looking for April 27th, right there. And of course, there's the super outbreak of April 27th, 2011. And you have all kinds of cool soundings. You can click here, and that'll give you a sounding area where you can look at the different soundings that were issued. Here's the morning sounding from Birmingham. You can see we're not very unstable there. We had a pre-dawn squall line come through, but you can see what happened in the afternoon hours. Look at that vast difference. That's the 0Z sounding. So yeah, you can search through here. You have the day outlooks, the SWOTIs, the severe weather outlook day 1s, 2s, etc. All archived right here for you. So really a cool resource. This is a one I'm not sure many folks know about. I know some that are in the heart of the weather community do, but not many know about this one. That's really a cool resource. Okay, so jumping back now, we're going to go back. We've covered Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center. So what better time than to look at what Maria's doing, right? We've got the trio out there, Jose, Maria, and Lee. Lee's on his way out. He is now tropical depression going out. But here's Maria. She's the beast right now, right? So we've got 125 mile-an-hour winds sustained with a pressure at 956 millibars. Movement was west-northwest at 9 knots. So strong Category 3 hurricane, expected to become solid 4 or possibly even low-end Cat 5. I know saying low-end Cat 5 makes it sound less timid, right? No way. That thing is going to be incredible, right? So I have to watch that. There's the expected path. You can see for any storm, just visit NHC. I tell you what, we'll start at the beginning because I didn't show you the link. I think it's pretty obvious, but I just want to start from the beginning. nhc.noaa.gov up there, and click on Maria, and then you can look at the top here. These are your options. You can look at the forecast discussion, the forecast advisory, the cone, the wind probabilities area for hurricane force winds. That's for tropical storm force. So you can do that. Or if you want to look at what the forecaster is expecting the strength to be, here's from the 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time update from Maria. Go down here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, they're expecting to reach 155 mile an hour. Now that's incredible. Absolutely. That's pretty concerning, folks. I got to tell you. Starting at 24 hours, so tomorrow. And the forecaster, kind of like the Storm Prediction Center or Weather Service discussions, will outline what their thinking is. And that's really very valuable because they always have wonderful, tremendous insight. So it looks like she's heading for Puerto Rico and part of the Leeward Islands on her way in. And the last one that we'll talk about today is the Weather Prediction Center. This has become another one of my favorites. And you can get further discussions on rainfall mostly. So if you come over here to Forecast and Analyses, how to get to this website, it's right up here, wpc.nsep.noaa.gov, and then go to Forecast and Analyses over here on the left. I personally like the excessive rainfall. You can click on it. Day 1, they give the forecast discussion. And then let's see, day 1 excessive forecast rainfall discussion. Here we go. and they'll talk about things, just the same. I love these forecast discussions from the Hurricane Center, SPC, local weather service offices, WFOs, and the WPC, because the forecasters have so much experience, like I've said previously, and you can glean so much value from that and apply it to your own forecasting. Sometimes I'll read stuff and I'll think, man, I've never thought of approaching it that way, and so I'll start using that in my own personal forecasting. It's really a great way to do it. Excuse me. Let's see. There's one more thing here. So from the main page, again, I want to make sure I navigate you from there so you'll know where you're going. Click on Forecasts and Analyses. Go down to Mesoscale Precip Discussion. That will give you a flash flood discussion. You can see there's no flash flooding expected in the CONUS in the continental United States right now, but the previous discussion was actually issued 2 days ago on Saturday, September 16th, 2017, for a flash flood event, possible flash flood event that occurred, was expected to occur in central northern Iowa and through parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. But so it's much the same. The forecaster gives his expectations, and you kind of deduce from there where you want to go. Some of this stuff might be a little much for a beginner, but the way I like to see it is jump in head first, man. Learn as much as you can. Visit the different websites. Just soak it up like a sponge, and you'll really progress quickly if you really want to. And a couple other things I'll just mention. I have a list here of different things. Some other things you may consider doing are going to like AMS conferences and doing a presentation. If you can, sign up or submit for a presentation or a poster. See if you can do that. That'll give you some great hands-on experience and input from veterans in the field of meteorology. Read the journal papers, again, like I mentioned, from the AMS website. Read book chapters often. Find some good books. I plan on doing a video on some of the different books that you can read to learn a lot about, and just sit down and just read a chapter, or half a chapter or a few pages, and do that, religiously or frequently in order to continue to learn. Practice weather analysis often. I want to do a video on this as well. This is important for the learning process, folks. Really important. You can read all day long, you can do all the websites, but unless you practice weather analysis and forecasting, you will never really develop that part of the skill of meteorology. It's very important. Employ mind abstraction development techniques. I know that sounds kind of strange, but one of the things I like to do is I like to write left-handed or opposite-handed. For those of you who are left-handed, you'd write right-handed. And it develops a different part of your mind, that might not have gotten as much attention as the other. And that really helps your abstract thought, or even your scientific reasoning and critical thinking ability. So do that. Do frequent event reanalysis. So go back into old events that have happened using that SPC archive I just showed you, the SPC events. Go back there and pull up some really great old events and just thumb through them. And look at the data and all that. And one more website that I'll give you concerning that is go to Google if you want to do some reanalysis stuff. And I think most of you probably know about this website, but just in case you don't, I'm going to give it to you. You'd go SPC Meso Analysis Archive. So SPC Meso Analysis Archive, and it should be the top list. Let's see. Nope, it's actually the third. It's this one right here, SPC Mesoanalysis Archive. Whoa, no, that's not it. Let's get out of there. Let's just go to the main site here. So we're right here, spc.noaa.gov/expr/mesoanalysis, and then click on the National Sector Archive. Okay, this is the website URL is right here. And then go to the Daily Weather Archive. This is a great thing. And you can get so many different charts. The times are in UTC, or Zulu time, Universal Time Coordinate UTC. So you'll have to know how to read Universal Time. But the archive starts back in December December 7th of 2005. Actually, it goes back to, there's one date, May 19th, 05, but then it skips all the way to the 7th of December 2005, all the way to the present day. So if there's a major weather event, man, that you want to cover, this is the place right here. They don't have soundings in there. You can either go to the University of Wyoming or to the SPC site, the SPC events, the one that we showed you a little while back. So yeah, there's tons of cool stuff you can do. But that's all I really have for now. Oh, and one more thing in closing: teach. Teaching is a great way also. You really don't realize the gaps you need to fill in till you start teaching, and then you just learn on top of the things that you've already known so quickly, and you develop new ways of thinking, new abstract approaches, and your students ask you questions you would have never thought of yourself, and all that cool stuff. So teaching just really compounds your knowledge in a hurry. Excellent way of doing things. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And if y'all have any questions about anything, just write me and down in the comments, and I'll be happy to respond to you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care now.